Hi you guys, how are you all? I hope you're doing well. Happy almost Friday if you're watching this on Thursday when it goes live. We made it through another month and it looks like in California at least it's going to be another month longer. Honestly, I don't think I know anyone who was surprised by that. I think all of us are starting to understand that this is going to be a long process, and even when things are lifted, the world is going to look a lot different. April has been an interesting month for sure. So this is not going to be a traditional favorites video. It's going to be more of a update you on what is going on in my life, what's going to be happening with my channel. And that's mainly because a lot of these products that are my favorites, I have been talking about a lot, and you guys have seen a lot in the past month about them. So I don't think you really need me to go into depth on each one of them, but I will be linking all the products that are my favorites down below, and we'll pause at the end and talk a little bit about what I've been watching and what are some of my body favorites. Blanket statement, my skincare routine that I shared on this past Tuesday. Thank you to everyone who watched that video. I spent a long time putting that together, so that meant a lot, and I'm really happy that you guys enjoyed it. Skincare routine has definitely been a favorite of mine. It has been for a couple of months since I started using those products and noticing results. Makeup wise, I'm going to be applying it as we're talking, so I'll do my best to mention the product. But again, if I forget or I'm in the middle of saying something and I don't want to share what I'm using, everything will be linked down below so you guys can check out that. So let's hop in and get started. My bangs are getting so long. Can you guys see? When I first got them, they were probably about here, and they've grown so much. This was not the year to get bangs, let me tell you that much, because we can't go in and get them touched up, and I have multiple times thought about doing them myself, and every time I snap out of it and I'm like, don't you try, don't you dare try, because they will end up looking so awful. But it might come to that point, and if that's the case, then you guys might be enjoying some funky haircuts. So before I dive into everything, I'm just going to tell you the first product that I'm using, and that is the Illya Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. If I have been wearing makeup, it's usually this, or just SPF. It's been rare that I've been wearing foundation. Occasionally, I've been wearing the Westman Atelier foundation, mainly on days where I'm having more breakout. I know I just talked about I have some hormonal acne going on, and so there were a couple of days where I was like, I just want these gone. I want to cover them up. I don't want to see them anymore. But mainly, I'm keeping makeup very light if I'm wearing any at all. So, what has been going on? Well, as you guys have probably noticed, I have been consistently uploading 2 videos a week, which has been really fun for me. But what you guys don't know, unless you also create videos online, is that there's a lot of work that goes into every one. Usually it's about 8 to 10 hours of work, just getting the video up and uploaded and everything linked and all of that good stuff. And then a few more hours here and there throughout the week trying to answer as many comments as I possibly can, get back to you guys on DMs, email brands about future videos, all of that stuff. So it's been about a 35 to 40 hour a week job, which is good. And really the only reason that I've been able to do that is, as you might have guessed, being a freelancer right now is not the world's greatest thing in terms of the job market. I work with a lot of small companies. I get a lot of my business from word of mouth. And a lot of the smaller companies, understandably, are needing to cut back on what they're putting out, what they're contracting, and trying to bring as many things in-house as possible so that they can survive, which is 100% understandable. But it also means that for a lot of us contract workers, we don't have work right now. Luckily, I still have insurance. So I feel really fortunate because I know a lot of people in the creative industry don't have health insurance, and this is a really scary time not to have health insurance, but I do. Luckily, I have a partner who has been really supportive, and we are adjusting how we pay for things financially so that I don't totally drain all my savings. But it's a scary time, and it's a scary time for a lot of people, so I know I'm not alone in this. So there's sort of this, I'm just going to go in with concealer. This is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. So it's sort of this weirdly wonderful, awful time where my normal job is pretty much kaput. I have a few projects going on, but they're definitely not paying the rent. And then I get a lot of free time that I'm investing in this channel, which is wonderful because it means I get to put a little bit more effort into my videos, my photography over on Instagram. But it's also really scary because I know I've explained this in other videos, but like I don't really make money from YouTube. So as I think a lot of creatives are doing, I'm rethinking how I want to structure things. This is not a great time to be looking for a job, unfortunately, which would usually be my response. So I am thinking of either cutting back to one video a week and then trying to really hustle and figure out how to figure out, you know, some income solution. Or I'm thinking about setting up a Patreon and doing one video a week on YouTube. And for those of you who are interested or able to support my channel, having a tier on Patreon that would mean you get an extra video a week. I'd really love your guys' thoughts on this. As I mentioned, it is a lot of work to put out these videos, and if you guys are interested in them, then I want to make them for you. I want to continue making them for you. But if you're like, hey, look, I totally get where you're coming from, but I'm also not in a place where, you know, I can pay a couple dollars a month to watch a video, totally understand that too. And there's no pressure. I'm just trying to like gauge where everyone's interest level is and whether or not I should kind of start putting that together. So let me know. I'm gonna put some brow gel in. On top of all of that, we are moving because, well, this is a bit of a long story, but basically the place where we're in now, there was an offer for a long-term renter to come. And so we were sort of faced with the decision of, do we try and break our lease in San Francisco, because obviously we are locked into a 12-month lease, and move down here and start paying rent the same amount that this long-term renter would pay? Or do we, you know, forego the opportunity to stay here, let the long-term renter come so that my family can have this property making income again, which is necessary. So last week we decided, after a lot of back and forth, that for many reasons, one, just like being near to family, two, health and safety and how we were feeling in our unit, how I feel in our unit, and like health issues that I have and how that contributes to how I feel, and also just the opportunity to have more space and more outdoor time, we decided to try and break our lease. So we were really nervous about that decision. I'm gonna go in with blush. I'm using the Westman Atelier Petal blush. I've been gravitating towards this one and the Kier Weiss blush a lot because both of them have a lot of longevity, and it is starting to get a bit warmer. We've had some like unseasonably warm days in California, like 80s, which we don't usually get this early, so I've been wanting something with a little bit more power to it. Anyway, so like I was saying, so we decided, okay, we're gonna try and break our lease, but as far as we could tell, we could be liable for, or we could be responsible for the entire 12-month lease, which we do not have money to pay that out. So that was terrifying. Like, what if they make us pay all the way through? If that was the case, then we were just going to move back to the city and just deal with it. But we reached out to our landlord, explained the situation that was going on. There's some really great parts about San Francisco, and one of that is that it's a pretty renter-friendly place, and so there's been a lot of protection for renters, and one right now is that you cannot be evicted even if you're not paying rent. So unfortunately and fortunately for the residents, what a lot of landlords are dealing with are people like living in these units and not paying rent, and we presented them with the opportunity to turn back in our keys so that they could potentially re-rent it and make up, you know, some of that loss, instead of us just like keeping the unit and just not paying rent on it and it just sitting there and them, you know, losing money. So I think they understood that position too, and they were so reasonable. It was honestly like, thank you to the heavens for like doing us a solid here, and we worked out a deal with them. It is going to cost us money. It is a lot of money, but it's not as much as we thought it would be, and we can swing it. So we decided to break our lease. In order to make it as financially viable as possible for us, we needed to be out, or we need to be out by May 1st. So we are moving as we speak. I am filming this video the day before we have movers coming because that is still essential work. We kind of went back and forth trying to figure out if we could do it ourselves. not possible. Unfortunately, I have a back injury, so I can't lift anything above a certain weight, and poor Jared would literally really hurt himself if he tried to do everything. So we're forking up the costs for movers. We are so grateful that that is considered an essential business. We are so grateful that people are still helping people move and that the employees are still coming in. We just, yeah, I mean, it's a scary time for a lot of essential workers, and so the fact that, you know, people are in the grocery store, people are helping people move, people are in the pharmacies, like, that is incredible. So we feel super lucky. We have movers coming tomorrow. We've been packing as much as possible. We've been like running up and packing after like work hours, and we spent the weekend packing, and we're going to be moving out. So it's really bittersweet. I'm using a new mascara. This is not in my favorites video, but it's the Han mascara. I'll keep you guys posted on this. I did have some smudging, so I'll either post about it on Instagram, or I think I'm going to do like a new in clean beauty video because I have a lot of stuff coming in. There is like a really strong vanilla scent, like frosting kind of, which I think is interesting. But yeah, I'm just trying to see if it smudges with all products or if it was just what I was wearing the past couple of days. It's really, like I was saying, quite bittersweet. We loved our unit. The last video that I made in there, I told you guys how much we loved our unit. It really felt like home. The neighborhood was like pretty incredible, and we felt like we kind of found our place. But you know, in times like this, you have to be flexible and realize how lucky you are for other reasons, and the fact that we have this other option that is more comfortable for us right now. We're really grateful. So I'm trying to balance those two feelings of disappointment and sadness to be leaving a place that we really love, but also a lot of gratitude for, like I said, having this other option and feeling safe and feeling like, you know, we're making the best decision we can for us right now. And I feel like that's what we're trying to focus on. You guys know, moving sucks. It's a lot of work. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the Maya Chia highlight. This is kind of like back to my favorites. This is the highlighter that I've been using recently. So moving is obviously a pain in the butt, especially during times like this when, you know, we have to be really careful about how we're moving, what company we're using, making sure that, you know, they're taking care of their employees, all of that. So we've been really putting in those long hours to try and figure this all out. But like I said, the movers are coming tomorrow, so we have everything sorted. We just hope it goes really smoothly, and yeah, that's all you can hope for. So we know that this unit, because of the period of time that the other renter offered to stay, is free into the winter. So we'll probably be here until the winter and then kind of reevaluate what the next steps are. There are people who are coming to rent at some point, so we have to leave, but that is many months from now. Trying to not think about it and worry about having to repack everything once we unpack again, but it will be fine. So yeah, so on top of uncertainty worldwide, there's a lot of uncertainty in our life right now, which is a bit of a struggle to deal with, but we're managing. This is the Fit Glow Beauty Lip Serum in Nudie. There's a lot of transitions that I think a lot of people are going through, and I think we're finding now more than ever that you have to be creative and resilient, especially if you're facing financial uncertainty or housing uncertainty. And thankfully, I am not facing health uncertainty right now. So honestly, I've said this before, and I feel like now more than ever people are realizing it, but if you don't have your health, you really don't have anything. So I'm super grateful to be really healthy. I'm trying to have a positive outlook on most things right now, but also allowing myself to feel some disappointment and sadness for my job and for having to say bye to the city for a little bit. I will, of course, keep you guys updated with whatever I choose to do with this channel. I think a Patreon could be a really cool thing. I think it would allow me to still, you know, put a lot of time and effort into these videos. I think it would allow you guys to get more customizable content. You know, there's a lot of cool things you can do with Patreon, so I'm really leaning towards that route, but I want all of your feedback. And I totally understand both positive and negative feelings towards something like that. So I feel like at this point, I've been on YouTube for a long time and I've built such a really wonderful community. I really value all of your opinions. So don't worry about hurting my feelings. Just let me know what you're thinking, what's on your mind. If you have any ideas, let me know. Yeah, I'm pretty open right now. I feel like it's another big transition in my life, but you know, rolling with the punches. So on that note, it's enough life update. I did want to share one other favorite product that I'm not going to be applying today because my brushes are so disgustingly filthy and I have yet to wash them. I'm avoiding using them. I'm going to wash them tonight though. I'm going to set myself that goal. This is the last favorite that I would put on my face if I had a clean brush. This is the Ilia Fade Into You powder. It's a great powder. It's honestly, it doesn't cling to dry areas like other powders have for me. And in combination with the serum, which I know I've talked about before, these are just like amazing. Love them. This is like everyday easy combination if you have some shiny areas or you don't want quite as much dew as this provides. So I do have a couple of body favorites. If you guys are like me, your hands are disgusting and so cracked and dry that like there's a crusty layer of skin on top of it. I have been washing my hands a lot, as we all should, but that means I am treating my hands as much as I possibly can, so I'm trying to leave hand creams that I have on hand, they're almost empty though, by every sink. So I am either using the Wildfires Skin Food, I usually use this at night and I apply like a super thick layer to my hands, or I use the Henne, I think that's how you say it, Bluma hand cream. This one's a lot lighter, so I use this during the day and this one at night, like I said. So those are two, just if you need some good hand creams, check those out. And then I have a couple of body favorites that I've just really been loving. One is totally empty and I've scraped it to the last bit. This is the Natural Logic Skin and Body Soul Milk. It's a body moisturizer. It is gorgeous, it's lightweight, but it's super nourishing. Oh, the smell. It smells like lightly chocolatey, but in the best way possible, not sweet. It just smells so good. I've officially, like, there's nothing left in this. I've taken this out and like scraped around the side to get all of it out. The one thing that I had a little trouble with is the packaging, only because it's so good and I want more than comes out of this little pump. And then when I got to the very last bit, I had to turn it over so that everything kind of fell down and take out the pump and kind of like squirt it on my hand. Not a big deal, not a deal breaker, but just something to note. The packaging was a little bit finicky for me, but the product inside is like gold. It is amazing. Check this out if you need a new body moisturizer. Oh, loved it. Last favorite, I thought I would put this in here. It's a brand that I've talked about before, but we are getting into those sweaty months, so if you are like me, you need a good deodorant, and Primarily Pure has been my favorite deodorant that I have found. I just tried the charcoal one, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. This is the only charcoal deodorant that I have tried that has not stained any of my clothes. It has the same power and is really great as the other scent that I tried, Geranium. That's kind of like my holy grail favorite. I would probably purchase the Geranium over the charcoal just because I like the scent of that. But this is beautiful, good deodorant. It does what it says it's going to do. You won't smell. And yeah, it's just really nice, and the charcoal doesn't stain my clothes. So I thought if you guys were interested in a charcoal deodorant, check this one out. Lastly, I have been consuming so many YouTube videos. It is ridiculous. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. But I've actually been like not watching as much beauty content. I think it's because I'm making so much more content. So like I get like overwhelmed by the amount of beauty products that I consume, create content about, and then like watch. So I've actually been watching a lot of home channels. I've been watching Studio McGee a lot, which I know I posted about the other morning. I've been watching this really adorable Australian couple. I forget what the channel's called, but I will link it down below, who are doing a reno on their beach house, and it's gorgeous. They do episodes every so often. Let me know some good home channels to watch, because that is just, for whatever reason, what I'm in the mood for. I think I'm probably also like preemptively nesting a little bit and getting ready to unpack everything and try and make this space feel a little bit more homey. Let me know some good home channels. I'm really into that right now. Okay guys, it feels good to kind of like update you guys on what's going on, because sometimes it's hard when there's a lot going on in your life, but you're talking about a skincare product and you like need to separate the two that's going on. And I definitely have felt that way in the past few videos, because it has been a little bit stressful and we have been dealing with what a lot of people are dealing with right now. But I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for listening to me talk. I'm excited to hear your feedback, your ideas. Yeah, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I might take a break from YouTube videos for a little while if I need to. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll be able to at least do one a week, even if I don't figure out the Patreon thing, because I love being on here and I love chatting with you guys and getting an opportunity to talk about clean beauty. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together, and everything will be fine. And yeah, feeling grateful, feeling lucky, and also feeling a little bit nervous for our move tomorrow. So wish us luck. Probably be sleeping the day that this video goes live because I'll be exhausted. Yeah, that's all that's new for me. So hopefully we all have a better month of May. Hopefully the world looks like a happier place by the end of May. I feel like I'm already seeing pockets of that, and let's hope that just the good news keeps coming. So sending all of you a lot of well wishes and good health. I hope you all are staying sane. If you're not, you can leave some comments down below and we can all commiserate together and just have a nice supportive community to turn to. And that's it for me. So I will see you guys all next week. I think if anything changes, I will of course post on the community tab here, or I will post over on Instagram to try and keep you guys as up to date as possible so you kind of know what to expect. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this challenge and tackling it head on. So everything will be okay, right? And I'll see you guys soon. All right, bye. And yeah, it's sad we're leaving and we're gonna miss it. And the ceilings are so high and everything's so white and pretty. But thank you, apartment.
Hope it doesn't have lead paint.
Yeah, I think it does. It's an old building.